How's everybody doing? I hope everybody's in good spirits. Everybody's doing well. And what's next? That's how I feel about the current state of the world. It's just we've marched. We're done marching. Things are going back to normal. People's feeds are going back to normal. So what do we do next? We know we need to vote. That's a thing. But the off chance that we vote and Trump's still in office, the off chance that there's another horrible shooting or the person who keeps kidnapping black people and hanging them from trees is caught on camera, then what? It's like bringing to the realization that people don't care until there's a video of you hanging from a tree or there's a video of you being choked out. Nobody really cares. Like the fact that even though the same laws that existed when the choking out happened still exist, nobody kind of really cares, right? Because nobody's dying specifically right now. And we're just going off human merit here. The same human merit that allowed these people to be hired and them to do their job still exists, right? But nobody seems to really care, in my opinion. But it's kind of like we're supposed to be okay with it because it's better than what was going on in the past. And like I kind of feel like that sometimes, but then like it's hard to say that I'm okay with it because I shouldn't be. You know what I'm saying? To like give context to where I'm at psychologically, I experienced a hate crime. My tire was put on flat 2 weeks in a row. First week it was my tire. The second week it was my tire and my mother's tire. It's in my head at first, like I'm upset, I'm mad, but then I go back to like the fact that my grandfather has told me a story of Klansmen burning a cross in his front yard. And as long as you black in America, you're probably gonna experience racism. The foundation of America is built on racism. So ultimately, until that foundation has been uprooted, readjusted, there's no way to get around that. I don't have a choice but to be abused. My kid, if I have kids, my little nephew just born, he don't have a choice. Well, actually, he's already been mistreated and abused as a baby. He's a real live baby. There were people who have treated him differently. It didn't matter that he's a baby, but they treated him differently than the other babies because he's black. You know what I'm saying? So it's human on a human level. It's pathetic, but it's just like back to the topic. Where do you go from here? Like, what do you do next? It's not my job. Like my thing is like people asking a question. Well, Charles, people asking me, what do we do next? I'm not a politician, right? My job isn't to go look up laws, look up different things that are supposed to happen to give me equality. That's the people who took up the job. That's their job to do, right? And even the research, right? So all I can do is just research people and see what they're doing. The research that it takes to do that and then vote in the right person. The voting process in itself is still steeped in semantics. Miscounted votes, inopportune voting times, loss of votes. The list goes on, right? To me, if it's that bad, you want the scales to be off balance that bad. And let's just say, you do what you got to do. You cheat. You do whatever it takes to get into office and get things to continue. The black people to calm down and continue to be where it is. What do you really do when you go too far? Because at the end of the day, there's always a too far. And that's the one thing I'm really scared of, for real.
Do you know who Chris Dorner is? Well, Chris Dorner was an African-American police officer in the LAPD. He was executing a warrant with his partner, who was a white woman. During the process of executing this warrant, this white woman did what Chris Dorner thought was excessive force. Reported this to his superior, made a formal complaint, and was subsequently fired from the LAPD. He went through the system. He took every legal avenue that he believed he had to get reinstated, and he was not reinstated. Chris Dorner told his story how he did everything right. when he was in the military and subsequently everything else. This is before any of this shit happened. And then he said, which was the wildest thing, he said, I'm going to wage asymmetrical war on the LA Police Department and their families. Well, that's an ominous thing to say. And he did it. This motherfucker ambushed 2 police officers who were just sitting in their squad car, murdered them. He went to another police officer's house and killed his daughter. They found him. Big Bear. He was hiding in a cabin. And they figured out what this nigga was. No less than 400 police officers showed up and answered the call. And boy, let me tell you something. They Swiss cheese this nigga. He is as dead could be. He is done. And you know why 400 cops showed up? Because one of their own was murdered. So how the fuck can they understand what's going on in these streets?